Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me a diamond in the rough. His name is David Kroll. He's an offensive tackle out of Delaware, an All-American offensive tackle out of Delaware. So nice to have you, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying there, an All-American, at least 2 years running that I'm aware of, which is kind of nice. Some pretty decent size there as a lineman. You got about 6'6" to 320-ish. So something good for you there. Let's talk about you and your journey, if you don't mind. Tell me maybe where you're from and how you got there to Delaware.
So I'm from Northern Virginia, like right outside of DC. I went to South Lakes High School. I got recruited to actually University of Richmond first when Coach Rocco and his staff were there. Coach Manny Rojas recruited me there. And then they actually switched after I was committed to Richmond verbally, switched over to Delaware midway through my senior year. So then when they got there, they had me over for an official, and I committed like the same weekend I was there. And they had the same coaching staff, all the same guys I still really wanted to play for. So then I ended up at University of Delaware. Played a good amount there. Started 4 years. I think it was 43 games it came out to be. So we got a lot of experience there, and I think it was it was actually a great time being at University of Delaware.
Nice. So I want to say you've been a left tackle like for all those starts, right? I mean, have you started anywhere else?
No. So I've when I first got there, there was another tackle that played left. Like there was a fifth year senior that played left tackle my freshman year, and they're like he had a backup, and they're like so me and the backup battled out for like to be second string, and I won that. So they kind of just kept me at left tackle the entire time I was there. Didn't play, they moved me around maybe like, in some form, like special formations, have me as like a tight end or bring in another offensive lineman, have me as a tight end, or they'd tag me over on the other side to play some like, pretty much like a right tight end or a right tackle.
Sure.
But yeah, all left tackle starts when I was there.
Nice. So, and you had mentioned, around 43, which is a pretty decent number, really, when you're looking at a guy. So, I mean, you absolutely want a guy with experience. So, we've talked about a guy, again, like I had mentioned, with some decent size, decent experience. So, so far, David, we're checking some boxes here. So, it sounds good. So, talk to me about you as a player, as a prospect. How do you feel you and your game is maybe perhaps different? Talk to me about maybe what you feel separates you as prospect.
I think one of the things, and I think you can kind of see it over my years is starting, I continuously get better as time goes on. I'm not going to, get picked up and then stay the same static guy throughout the whole time. I'm going to change and do what I need to do to get better for the team and just be a better player overall. I think you can see that my sophomore year through my fifth year, I played way better like throughout every single season, and I was just able to improve. And I think that's something that sticks out compared to other guys. I didn't just stay the same from my sophomore year.
Nice. And do want to chat just a little bit about well, not really this past season, but like the spring season, because you guys did really well in that spring season. So talk to me about your guys' success there.
I think it was kind of just staying together as a team, in that we kind of did that what a regular spring ball would be in the fall before we played the spring season, and we just like everyone like surprisingly stayed very positive throughout that entire time. And I think that being away from football, like real football and games for that long, kind of made us more hungry than anything else. And I think when it came to actually playing, it was just like we just went out and had more fun than focusing on doing anything else. I feel like some other seasons we were so focused on, oh, we're pre-ranked, that's this season we got to do this. We're so like uptight. Whereas that spring season came around, we were just letting it loose and just having fun together. And I think that was like one of the main things that like helped us, get all the way to semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did a fantastic job that season, and again, you yourself being named. I want to say that spring season you were named first team All American. This past season, I want to say you were second, although I don't know how it was because there's so many different lists out there. Does that
Yeah,
sound accurate?
there's like 5 different lists. I was like on 3 of them. I was like first team in the spring, and then in the fall I was like on 1 of them I was second team, and then on like 2 of them I was third team, I think.
And we'll give you the second team. I feel like
Yeah,
you
okay, yeah,
deserve
but
it.
I put the second team in my Instagram bio. I don't put the third team on there at all. So
Yeah, it gets kind of weird when you get third, fourth, honorable mention,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. So some
yeah,
people try and, you know, carry that a little bit as, as far as they can. So,
yeah.
but I mean, again, like we said, I mean, a guy that has found success in college, really doing a fantastic job there in the CAA, which is really a great conference. When if people don't know that, I mean, you're looking at very successful programs. You're looking at a lot of great competition. Really briefly, if you don't mind, who do you feel has been like that? I don't know, maybe like the guy on the opposite end of you that has really helped push you to be that All American that you are.
I would say on the team, on my personal team, I would say Chase McGowan did that. He was a really good defensive end, and you could kind of tell like throughout practice, it was like we didn't want to go against anybody else. We kind of just wanted to go against each other, like especially in season when we were limited reps for the both of us, just to save our bodies for games. Like we'd go like one-on-one rep the entire week, and it would just be against each other, and then we'd be done for the week. Or like in pregame and stuff like that. And he would push me. And also like it was good I always like through watching film, seeing guys and how, they have these amazing stats and you're like, oh, I gotta like lock this guy up this game, show him he's not that good. I think William Mary had a really good defensive end this year, and I think he was, I don't know, he had like 10 sacks coming in our game. And I was just like, okay, I can't let this guy, break a record or anything. And then Albany had a very good defensive end this year as well, who was a challenge to block. And I think it's thinking about going against guys and like making them kind of challenging them at the same time as you're challenging yourself to be the best that you can be, and you just like don't want to get shown up by another guy. That like kind of helped me play better at the end of the day.
Nice, and a guy that when your college career was pretty much done, you had the opportunity to go out to Fort Worth in Texas and play for the College Gridiron Showcase. So, tell me a little bit about that experience, if you don't mind.
Well, that experience was definitely interesting, to say the least. I got out there, and it was one of the actually best things about it. Besides, this is off the field stuff. I actually met a bunch of guys from the CAA, other players, like top players on their team, and it was fun to just sit down with them and be like, oh, these guys aren't as bad as I thought they would be. Because when you get on the field, it gets a little nasty, and you're like, oh, these guys suck. But getting out there and actually meeting some of them, it was kind of cool. But on the field stuff, it was good to go up against some Power 5 guys, some guys from other conferences that I wouldn't usually play in a year, and it was kind of a good assessment point to see where I'm at. These are other all-stars, and these are other guys that had great seasons, and even though I think I had some really good reps, and I think I had some reps that I would definitely expose some weaknesses, and that was things I brought back here to Florida, and I get to tell my O-line coach Eugene Chung, and he gets to assess those weaknesses, and I can fix. And I had enough time between now and my pro day, the draft, to fix those weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you out there. There are a couple of those clips that are available on YouTube. So, I mean, I saw you out there a little bit, really being, paired up with some solid talent, whether it be in the SEC or the Big Ten. I mean, you're up against some really quality players out there, and yes, there were some times where you were able to hold your own against these guys that are seen on national television on a regular basis. So I mean, hopefully you were able to go out there and really impress some scouts. So talk to me a little bit about maybe some of those moments. I mean, were you able to sit down with some scouts and have some quality interviews?
Oh yeah, I sat down with a couple of scouts, and I think it was interesting because we went through some scout like interview prep before I went out there, and I was like, they're telling me about all the questions they're gonna ask, and I'm like, no way they're gonna ask all of these questions, and they want to know everything about you. It was definitely interesting. It was kind of like it's like a job interview. Maybe a little bit less formal. I was able to speak more freely than I would at an actual job interview, but I think it was definitely interesting, and it was kind of showed me that it's like this is a real like career that you really got to put yourself into like head first, and if you aren't ready for it, it's just not gonna work out like you want it to.
Gotcha. So you feel like overall you did a pretty decent job out there at the CGS?
I would say it was a solid experience. I would say I have pretty high standards for myself. So I would say, to my standards, I didn't play like I wanted to play. Besides a couple reps I thought were pretty good, but um, it was definitely a learning experience, and I think that's what you got to take out of that is that I can learn from what happened, learn how to get better, and like be better in the future.
Sure, no doubt. So, obviously a great experience out there, in Fort Worth, Texas at the CGS. Some great years there at Delaware. What do you feel has been like, I don't know, maybe your biggest accomplishment as a player over the past 5 years? Really, what sticks out to you most? Was it some of those All American seasons, or what? I mean, of all the things that you've accomplished in the past 5 years, what sticks out?
I would say winning the CAA conference championship in the spring was probably the most satisfying thing. I almost cried, and I never cry. I remember I saw my parents in the sidelines; they were cheering and jumping. I was like, "This is awesome! This is like the best moment ever!" Winning it on Villanova's field too, our rival. What more could you ask for? I think that was probably the thing that sticks out the most, especially going so long without winning or playing football, and then all of a sudden you go 7-1 in the spring, and you go all the way to semifinals, and you're that close to Frisco, Texas. I think that conference championship was probably the best thing to happen in college.
Nice. So I mean, really being able to put a bow on your experience there for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not getting there like to the ultimate end, but in the grander scheme of things, I mean, you had a very successful run at Delaware, which I think really is great. Um, so I guess now what we're really looking to is we're looking towards uh, your dream job. We're looking towards you, kind of just moving towards the pros, maybe to the NFL. So, what are you doing right now? When you're preparing for that moment, where are you training at? Are there any coaches you're working with right now?
So I'm down in Florida, Fort Myers. I'm at X3 Performance, and I'm grinding right now. Multiple workouts a day. They got me on a full diet plan. They got the nutritionist is on me 24/7. Make sure I'm drinking more water in a day than I usually drink in like a couple days. Like 3 gallons a day. I'm just going crazy. I'm working with Eugene Chung, like I mentioned earlier, and he, has really been helping me out. Cross training from right side to left side, and it's actually cool. He actually is from the same area I am in Virginia. I played his old high school. Played my high school. I played his old high school and stuff like that. And it happened. My college coach, Brian Steinspring, he actually his first year as a GA was Eugene Chung's coach at Virginia Tech. So I kind of got a little bit of a connection like that. going down here. But it's mostly just been down here grinding. I've been down here since I think January 3rd, and I don't leave for like another 3 weeks. So I'm just, trying to maximize my time here and just, get stronger and faster and leaner.
Gotcha. And when is that pro day for you?
Pro day is March 23rd.
23rd. And what can we expect out of that pro day? You have anything that you're really working on right now? You have any idea where you are with some of those drills?
I got an idea of where I am with those drills. I have an idea where I'm going to be as well. I don't have far to go as of right now. From when I first got here, I've made big jumps of speed and agility. I might be close to 30 inches on the vertical. I jumped 28 2 and a half weeks ago. I jumped a 28-inch vert, so I'm trying to get to that 30-inch vert. Maybe shock some scouts a little bit. And then as far as 40 and all the other stuff, I'll be probably right in the average for my position group.
And you're cutting a little bit of weight, right? I mean, how's that looking for you?
It's good. It's a slow process. So the first couple weeks they got me maintaining. I came in about 322, and they had me keeping that for a little bit while I'm building muscle. And now they're trying to cut me down while still building muscle, and then just straight losing fat. So I'm trying to get down to like the teens, 315 to 318 in that range. And it's going good right now. We do the body assessments every Friday, and right now I'm on a consistent decline of percentage body fat. So that's what you like to see, and hopefully it continues to grow that way.
Sure, sounds good, man. Looking forward to how that pro day is going to turn out for you. So I do want to take some time to meet who David Kroll is outside of a football player. So tell me something about yourself, something interesting, fun, unique, hobbies, interests, or what have you. So I know you're from Northern Virginia. I got that from you, but tell me something else about you.
I guess I got some friends that do it as well, but I used to be really into Star Wars Legos, not just regular Legos, Star Wars Legos, to be specific. The Star Wars Legos are the best Legos. I used to be into it a lot when I was little, and when I went away to college, I kind of got out of it. And now I came back, and I spent a lot of my money that I had saved up from college on some Legos, and I'm kind of getting back into it. I still have my whole closet in my home, little kid room stacked up with all my old Star Wars Lego stuff. And I just like sitting, like one of the best things to do is just sit down in front of a TV after a long day, unbox a new Lego set, watch some TV and build a new Lego set. And that's something I really enjoy. And I just started getting back into it. So hopefully, I continue to get back into it because I think it's really relaxing and just kind of cool.
So would you define yourself as a Star Wars buff or a Lego buff?
I would be more Star Wars sided.
Okay.
Star Wars, I think, is the original trilogy is the greatest trilogy of all time. I'm going to put it above Lord of the Rings slightly just because of how cool it is. I probably would too. Just because of how cool it is. Just because, it's guys fighting with glow sticks, cutting people in half and shooting. And it's just, I think it's so cool. But I got into Star Wars Legos because of Star Wars, not because of Legos. But it's kind of like, it's also kind of keeps your mind active at the same time. So it's kind of a cool mix of the both.
Nice. Of all the Star Wars characters out there, is there maybe perhaps any like one particular guy who you identify the most with?
Identify the most? That's a tough question.
Yeah, I don't know. I give you the tough questions here.
Oh, that's a tough one because I know who my favorite is. I would say I would
start with your favorite. That'll work.
Well, I think it's pretty basic, but my favorite's Darth Vader just because of how cool he is. Like when I'm watching it as a kid for the first time, and I just see him walking around with a deep voice, like the deep voice and the breathing apparatus around him, and that's just so cool. And then he just starts messing people up. Who do I identify?
Well, whether it's Darth Vader or Anakin, I get it. So you're getting a pretty quality guy who in the very end, spoiler alert, did kill the bad guy. So we're good.
In the very end, exactly. I guess you could say I'm like maybe a little bit like a mix of Chewbacca and Han Solo.
Sure. Well, I mean,
personality wise.
all
That's
right.
what I would say.
All
I
right.
would say, I don't know, because, I joke around a little bit like Han Solo, but I get down to business like Chewbacca when I need to,
Yeah, tear
So that's,
some arms off. I
yeah,
mean,
tear
yeah,
some arms off when I need to.
I
So,
gotcha. So, hey man, as we wrap up this interview, I do want to give you one more moment to really just kind of talk directly to those scouts because we do know that they're watching these videos. So, I want you to look straight into that camera and talk to them and tell them why you would make a great addition to their team. So, go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
so I think I'd be a great addition to any team because I'm just a hard worker and I'm flexible and I got a great worker's mentality, and anything you need me to do, I'm gonna do it, and that's just the way I work. So that's why I think I'd be a great fit for any team.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a guy who really checks a lot of boxes on things like size, overall success in college, really also being a quality leader for that program as well. Setting an example for a lot of the other guys there for sure. So, and like you had already mentioned, I mean, you're training to be really the best lineman you can, whether it's going to be remaining there on the left side, moving inside, or maybe out on the right side. So I mean, certainly a guy who's willing to learn and do a lot of great things. So do appreciate your time, David, and wish you best of luck. Okay.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Sure. Once again, I got with me David Kroll. He's an offensive lineman out of Delaware. Definitely check him out.